My first CEO role was in Singapore. When I moved here, I was 32 years old and I was not prepared for that role at all. But I loved it. I joined Gemba when I was in my first CEO role for less than a year. It was the perfect time for me to do such a program. Hey, I'm Claudius and I work for Mercedes-Benz in South Africa. I always try to stick to 3 values that are very, very important for me. First one, I always want to be honest and sincere with my organization. I want to speak up. I want to say when some things are great and I want to say when some things are not great and we need to do something about it. The second point is I want to take accountability. If I make a mistake, I stand up and say, okay, this is what happened and this is what we are learning out of this. And I always ask myself at the end of each day, did I take a risk today? Did I try out something that is different? I grew up on the countryside in Germany. I was always the youngest in my family and I always felt like, okay, I'm the little one, I'm the small one. And there is always a ceiling and you kind of have to respect the boundaries. It took me a while to understand that no, I don't have to accept them. I can push boundaries and I can not limit myself and I must not limit myself. Working for a big company like Mercedes-Benz, my dream car, my dream company was something I felt is impossible, but then I got in. My last role before becoming a CEO here in Singapore was an executive assistant to the head of the so-called region overseas in our organization. And this role prepared me very, very well for what was ahead. I could listen a lot, I could watch people, something I truly, truly like. And this helped me to understand also what my own way of leading an organization is. It's not about the technical skills only. It was about how I can create a vision, how I can create a strategy that the organization likes and buys into, that they are really, really excited and are willing to go above and beyond to really make remarkable things happen. I got lots of advice. I had a mentor when I stepped into my role here in Singapore, and it was just beautiful knowing that there is a space where you can speak very openly to one of our very experienced CEOs we have in the company. It is important to realize that you shouldn't be the smartest person in the organization, but you need to build a network of people around you that are much smarter than you are. It's okay to say that I don't know. It's okay to ask questions. So the first thing I had to unlearn was not jumping into decisions immediately. And I had to learn how to take critical feedback in. I am very competitive by nature, and it was similar in my professional career at the beginning. When people gave me critical feedback, I took it as an offense and I took it personally. And once I realized that it's not about me as Claudius as a person, but it's also about me as Claudius as CEO in that role. And this brings also different expectations and different wishes and requirements from all the stakeholders around me. This feedback is something I can really use to grow and to make things better. You need to understand the context. You need to listen to different perspectives. In my current role, it's much less about me. It's much more about the organization and the team. The Gemba journey is filled with highlights, beginning with the faculty, the different classes, the discussions in class, different case studies you are working on, the different simulations you do, the different ways how INSEAD puts you into different roles and gives you the chance to try out and find out who you want to be as a leader. I could use all the experiences I lived through every single day, learn more about the theoretical background. But the biggest learning came from my amazing classmates. No matter which problem I had, I could always find multiple people in my cohort that were not only willing to help me, but had experiences made that were so rich and they were so generous in sharing all of this. So what started as a more academic journey ended as a very, very personal journey, and I'm very grateful for every single experience I made during Gemba.